Hello, my name is Brooke Jaden, and this is 5 ways that you can use symbolism in your work. So why does that matter? Like, what is symbolism? Why would we want to use it? How is this relevant? Symbolism is when there is more meaning attached to something than its original intent. So, for example, maybe you're looking at a box, just like a cardboard box, and we all know what that's used for. Cardboard boxes are used to put things in, to store things, to carry things, whatever. But it's also a symbol for what? For being trapped, for feeling boxed in. I mean, we have all these different ways of referring to a box in terms of suffocation. Like, don't put me in a box, meaning don't, put me into a specific category. So, we have really interesting ways of using that word that go beyond its physical use, and that's a symbol. Why is this beneficial? Because people all around the world can relate to symbols. They have emotional meanings, they have conceptual meanings, and the use of a symbol is how we get past language barriers. So I can talk to anybody through my images. I can't talk to anybody with my words. So it's really beneficial to use symbolism in what you do. Number 1 is to recognize color as an emotional symbol. So color has all of these deep emotional meanings for us. Sometimes even just the sight of a certain color can make us feel a certain way. If you were to walk into a room that's all like dark crimson red and everything is like has this dark red feeling, you might feel anxious. You might feel like your heart start to beat faster. It might just make you feel claustrophobic. Versus walking into a bright white room where everything is white, you're going to have a much more open feeling, most likely. We have certain associations with color, like blue. You say that you feel blue when you're feeling sad, but also blue is the color of the ocean and the sky, and it can make you feel happy. So color association is not actually super easy to pin down because our own, pasts and histories with color can color how we see the color. Oh my gosh, I said color so many times. But how do you not? Color is an important thing, and the more that we can see that and attribute different symbols to it, we can start to use color more meaningfully in our work. Number 2 is to look at objects and ask yourself, what can they be used for? So, for example, a light is used to make light, right? You need a lamp. Okay, great. You turn on the lamp, there's more light in the room, we're all happy. But then take that a step further. So physical objects are a great exercise to do this on because we can see a physical object all around us, right? We know what they are used for, but then what's the symbol attached to that? So if I use this book, for example, a book is for reading, it is for entertainment, it is for information, it is for knowledge. So what does that translate to as a symbol? Well, a book in the right context can be used to represent education. It can be used to represent storytelling, depending on how you use it. So every single object that I can think of has a greater meaning attached to it based on what it is and what its use is. Number 3 is locations. They have such a huge impact on how we feel. I mean, think about it. Like, are you using a city or the country? Is it modern or is it old? Is it barren or is it full? Is it lush or is it dead? I mean, the way that we use locations can say so much about how we want a person to feel. And so we attribute symbolism to those places. If you, let's say you have, like somebody's standing in the middle of a desert, right? And they just like look so hungry and it's just like a barren wasteland. Well, that location is going to help the concept that this person is hungry and dying and alone. So there are different ways that we attribute emotion and symbols to locations. Number 4 is to remember that having too much clutter in your imagery can really take away from the symbolism. So try practicing just a little bit of minimalism. I'm not saying like remove everything from your pictures and just put the thing in there, but do take a look at how different objects can clash with each other in terms of the story that you're trying to tell. So let's say that you've got like a lantern, which might be a symbol for hope and like lighting a dark space. And you also have a can of soup. This is not going well, this metaphor. Whatever. You have a can of soup, and what does a can of soup mean? I don't know, maybe it's like a symbol for hunger or for, I don't know. This is a bad one, but you see what I mean. You can have conflicting symbols. So an even better one is a lantern and a book, because that's really easy. You have a book and you have a lantern, and maybe, yes, they could go together, but if you want the viewer to focus on one symbol and one story, only put one object in your image and see how that goes for you. Number 5 is just to think about what you want your concept to be before you create it, because by doing that, you can choose really intentionally what goes into your imagery or whatever you create. So the more you can choose ahead of time exactly what a thing means and how you're going to portray that, it makes such a difference. Anybody can put a lantern in a picture, and yeah, it might mean hope, but the way that you do it is going to exacerbate that or take away from that. So think before you create in terms of symbols, and you might have an easier time connecting to a wider audience. I hope that this video was helpful for you. I love symbolism more than anything in the world. I could study it day in, day out. I think it's so fascinating. And I attribute my love of symbolism to my career, being able to reach larger audiences in different parts of the world. So I think it's really valuable to pay attention to study, and I hope that you have a good time incorporating it into what you do. If you like this video, please subscribe, share it with your friends, and have a wonderful week. Bye.